In this video, we will be talking about customizing commands with something called aliases. So far in this course, we've been using default settings that our system gave us and default versions of commands. But there's actually a lot that you can do within the shell to customize things to your own preferences. And the first thing we're going to look at regarding that is aliases. As you might guess from the name, an alias is something you type in place of something else. Let's start with just the command alias. If I give the command alias with no arguments, it lists the aliases that are already defined. And these are the default ones on Linux Mint. We have 3 aliases defined, and they're defined in the format of the alias command itself. So that command can be typed just like that to set an alias. You'll notice that 2 of the commands that we have used a lot in this course, grep and ls, are actually both aliases. So in reality, every time that I have typed ls or grep in this course, the command I've actually been running is grep --color equals auto or ls --color equals auto. Just as an interesting thing, you notice that one has color with the British spelling and one has color with the American spelling, just done by different people at different times. And unfortunately, that's just something you would have to know or look up in the man page which spelling it uses. Well, let's prove that that's what happens when I type ls. We'll do a set -x so that bash is going to show us what command we're running before we run it. After bash has interpreted the command line, what is actually being executed. And if I do ls, you see indeed, I did run ls --color equals auto. If we do ls videos, which I think is an empty directory, but just to give an argument, the command actually being run is ls --color equals auto videos. If I type ls, I am using the alias. But if I type the full path to ls, this is the full path that resides in the bin directory. If I do that, then the command I run is /bin/ls. So an alias is an exact match for the first thing on the command line, where thing is defined by whitespace. From the start of the command up to the first whitespace is the alias. There's no substring matches. There's no funny stuff of any kind. And we can prove that with the echo command. The echo command is like a print. It just prints out whatever its argument is. Echo ls. In this case, again, ls is an alias, but it is now the second thing on the line. So we just echo out the letters L followed by S. So in short, an alias is a way to create a shorthand version of a command that you frequently run. For instance, obviously the decision was made. Hey, it's handy to have the colors turned on. You see the difference. If I use the colors, I see directories are in blue and executables are in green, and I think there's a couple of other colors that are used in this. But if I don't use the colors, the second example of the command, then everything's just my normal text color. So it can be kind of handy. It helps me identify things by what they are. But typing out ls --color equals auto every time is kind of a pain. So let's make an alias. The syntax for an alias is exactly what you see at the top of the screen there. Let's make a new alias. Let's say we want to make a recursive listing alias. So we're going to alias, let's do lsr equals. It's important that there's no spaces here. So lsr is going to be my alias, and it is going to be ls -lr --color equals auto. And we put it all in quotes because we want the alias to be one thing. And the quotes tell the shell this is one thing. So now if I do that, let's turn off the echoing. We turn it on with set -x. We turn it off with set +x. Let's do lsr. You see, we get a recursive listing. Let me scroll this back a little bit. Recursive listing with color in the long format. Exactly what I said for the alias to be. Now, one thing to be careful of. If an alias masks another command, the alias is what will get used, just like we've done here. The alias for ls is used in place of the normal command for ls. The alias for grep is used in place of the normal value for grep. Let's abuse that. Alias ps equals ls. Now, every time I type ps, I'm actually doing the ls command. And in fact, I'm actually doing the alias for the ls command. So we have 2 levels of aliasing going on here. PS actually means ls, which actually means ls --color equals auto. If I did this, I'm not running the PS command like I thought I was anymore. Now I could still get to it with its full path like we saw earlier with ls, but what if that was a mistake? I didn't really want to do it that way. Removing an alias is even easier than defining one. The command is unalias, unalias ps. And now if I say ps, I get the ps command. It's back to its old self. You can go to town with this, or you can do one or two things. It's up to you. You can make aliases for fun, for convenience, a little bit of both. But that's how you make and remove aliases, and that concludes this video.